made some pencil marks just to rough it out, so I don't spend too much time just trying to get all the proportions correct. So I'm going to, this is soluble ink, so it will run when I apply the watercolour. Try and keep things swift and lively. Not worry too much about detail. Just get things onto the page with as little fuss as possible. And I'm going to put those people in. I don't like doing people, but I think it does add to the scene, especially we've got that a big brolly. I can do an umbrella. It's not people. Vague shapes. Make sure you keep all the heads at the same height. Just rough shapes. Sort of looks like a person with a brolly. There's lots of umbrella sellers. It's very rainy. All shouting umbrella, 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 or whatever it was. They were doing very well. Okay, so we've got. You notice I'm leaving the Eiffel Tower till last because that's the bit where I screw it up. And it looks terrible. Well, maybe other places I do that as well. Now there's lots of these lines. Oh dear, that's terrible. So let's get the vanishing point first. A vanishing point is roughly about there, because we're looking uphill a little bit. Yeah, so everything is pointing towards that point. So I need to make sure that these lines also point. That's better. Yeah, so I was going a bit all over the place then, but now that is making more sense. Oops. I don't want to do every one of these, but I need to put some in as a visual guide. I'm not going to worry too much about getting things perfect. It's too small an image. And plus, once I apply some paint, it's going to be all over the place. I'll get the tone and kind of learn what's here for the larger image, which will have naturally more detail. So keep referencing back to the vanishing point. Make sure we keep things sensible. So one of the strange things, I think it's partially because of the camera, is that these lines here are not vertical. You kind of expect things that go up into the sky to go towards a vanishing point in the sky, but these are actually, it's almost like we're looking down on them, but I think that's due to the camera. Strange camera effect. But it kind of works still. Well, so far it seems to work anyway. Get the rough outline. It's very strange drawing a roof at such a sharp angle. It kind of contrary to what you think it should be. But it does work. There we go. I really don't want to do the... I'm not sure whether I should do the Eiffel Tower actually with the pen, because I want it to be quite far away, because obviously it is quite far away. And it shouldn't be as strong in its values. It's quite freeing not worrying too much about getting it right. I used to be very strict and take forever doing very fine detail. And now I just go, and yeah, that looks alright to me, all day. No one looks at a picture and compares it with the original photograph. Apart from you, apart from me. When you come back to the picture, months or years later, you won't see the faults. Although you might do. Sometimes you do. They're really big ones, but if you've forgotten what it all looks like, it all looks pretty good. They improve over time. Part of the skill. Oh, look at that, that's terrible. See, I wasn't paying attention. That should be vanishing point. So all of these are a bit wonky, but I might notice that in the future. So let's come to the top of there. That goes all the way to right to the top. Okay, that's slightly wrong. That's too wide. I mean, that should be. Oh no, that's not. I've got mixed up with that. That's right. Ignore that bit. That is correct. See, that still points down to the vanishing point. I'll just put some. That's a bit there, and we need to go. Yeah, it's not quite right. Doesn't matter. They're all kind of abstract shapes, really. Just to give the impression of stonework. Very intricate, detailed, difficult to draw stonework. So we just put some dark bits in, put some light bits in, and make it look stony. Which, yeah, is okay. It's kind of difficult, but I think so far I'm not pretend. Look at that again. Down to the vanishing point. Right, go to the vanishing point. So let's go like that. It does seem, like I say, it's very counterintuitive with these steep angles. It only makes sense when it's all finished. Or when you stop looking at it so closely and step back, then it makes sense. I'll do for that. When there's more details here, but yeah, it's not important. Okay. Lots of elegant details, which I'm going to leave out. There we go. Come and just a few more of these lines. Okay, so still got to keep forgetting the vanishing point. Tops of those windows. I've lost myself. Not sure where I am now. There we go. Let's just put those there. And shoot there. That'll do. That'll do. The other side, it's quite tricky. There's a lot of detail, but there's not a lot of obvious what it is detail. I mean, there are obviously windows, but you can't actually see the windows. It's a suggestion of windows. I mean, there's a whole vanishing point down below somewhere. It's very odd. Very unnatural to put this in, but it works in the image. Get some of these lines in. Okay, just look at those lines. See, I've done it again there. Trace it back to the vanishing point. This is the strangest perspective I've ever had to draw, I have to say. It's just, this should be vertical, and it's just not. It's very odd. So I'm going to leave that like that. So we've got the The trees, it's got some dark posts and some kind of railings or something in there. Just put some random details in. Make it look like I know what I'm doing. Curves. Like waves and curves, but yeah, that's pretty good. So, trees. So I've got the pencil marks just roughly mark where the tops of the trees are. Deeply down and then up again. I mean, that's going nice and dark there. I do like it. And a nice bit of light showing through behind the post there. Yeah, that's enough of trees. Okay. I'm going to try and do this sparingly. So that's I guess that's the first level there. This is the second level. So that does roughly get into the vanishing point there. Oh, no, it doesn't. Too much. How much detail do you put in there? Because all these, there's a lot of negative space. Or which, if I spent the time, it would look good. What am I doing there? Let's just outline it to begin with. Okay, and there's a stage about there. Didn't actually spend much time at the Eiffel Tower because it was raining and we didn't go up it. Okay. Oh, this is tricky. So, a couple of I always forget to breathe when I'm doing these little tiny bits. So we've got the spire at the top. And I'll try and make it smaller than I want to. Make it look a bit bigger. So make it small to make it look bigger. That makes sense. hardly breathing now. Trying to give enough of a suggestion. Without overdoing it. Easier said than done. It's kind of going okay at the moment. It's just a massive stuff. Okay, so these triangles here are quite prominent. I'd like to try and give a suggestion of these. I'm just in the wrong way. Right, once I put some paint on that, you won't notice anyway, so let's just leave that like that. I think that might be enough. I mean, there are obviously more detail, and because it's closer it should have more definition. Got the rear leg there. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that. That's it's okay. It's kind of recognisable as the Eiffel Tower. I think I'm going to paint around it, and then I'm going to paint around the Eiffel Tower, and then paint it with the sandy colour. So I'm going to paint the sandy colour first. So that is the sandy colour there. And it's going to run a lot, isn't it? Yep, and it just completely wipes out the colour. That's okay. Let's get some sky in there. Bit more blue, bit more Payne's grey. A lot of water. So it's got a lot of the ink in it as well. Try not touch the Eiffel Tower too much. Okay, so I've got, there are lighter bits, but the sky's not a feature, so I'm not particularly bothered about matching it. And it's grey. I mean, it was a very grey day. I'm going to try and pull a bit of that out. I think it's too... just line it up. I'm just doing absolute. I'm just taking. Problem with this paper, it doesn't stand too much working. It's far dark. It's all dried. It's too late. It's all dried. Not entirely sure that's great. I think it's pretty terrible actually. So let's just get some various colours into this brickwork. There's lighter tones here. Let's get some. Ooh, quite like that. Just kind of mix it in on the paper. Don't worry too much. Doorway, there's some nice lights in there, so let's leave that free. A little lighter down there. Problem is, the lighter you go with this, it just turns into mucky grey. Get a bit of warmth in there. Don't splodge everything with colour. Leave a lot of the white. Gives it a bit more something. Don't know what it gives, but it does improve it. So a bit more yellow. Okay, I'm just going to get some more colour on this because the colour will fade, and it just gives it a bit more of a bit more depth, a bit more character. Ooh. Wasn't expecting that. Okay. Right, we're going to work on the road, cobbled road, and the path. So this is going to be Payne's grey. I'm going to dry the brush off and see if we can get a bit of a. Okay, that's a really dry brush technique. It's so dry there's no paint. Okay, we can go a bit more dark here. I'll go a lot more dark. That's it. It's not quite as. I want it to be a bit lighter than that, but. Merge it up into the trees. I'll get some green into there. Some really dark green. It's possibly too dark. keep it blotchy. I'm going to try and take a bit of... I was a bit enthusiastic with the black here, so let's just kind of wash it out. That's all right. I'd like to darken that down a bit more. I think this is where I really mess up and should just wait until it dries. Okay, let's leave that to dry. I'm going to leave it and then I'm going to come in and do some dark highlights. Or is that low lights? Right, I'm going to go over my previous areas with a pen to kind of sharpen them up and bring out the detail, and then I might give it a couple more dark washes. When you're on the water of it, it always becomes a little vague and wishy-washy. So this is just to bring out these sharper edges. Just had a bit of a break, and also the camera stopped working, so things may have jumped on a little bit. But I'm looking at it and I think it needs a bit of colour. It's a bit flat and bland and blur. So I think umbrella is dying for a little bit of red. I think red sounds like a really, really dangerously bold idea. So I'm just going to tiny bit of red. There we go. Not too bright. I'd like to darken some of these other areas down as well. Got it's like this new area. Yeah, that's nice. I'm using the biggest brush I possibly could. That's completely the wrong one. Let's choose something a bit more subtle. I do want to make this area a little more orange or yellow ochre. That's better. That's improved things a little bit, I think. Stop these areas becoming just bland, mucky washes. I'm just picking up a bit of blue, trying to get some. I want to get just on these windows. I want to put a little bit of hint of sky. just to suggest that there's a reflection. A bit more blue into the sky. I think I've made the Eiffel Tower too dark. I was cautious and I wasn't cautious enough. But maybe I should try some. We do have white. We are allowed to use white. It's watercolour. But white does exist. Just a tiny amount. I'll see what happens. So we just line up some of these areas of the tower. I have to say that I've done that looks a mess, that does. Looks like I've painted around it, which I have obviously, but shouldn't look like that, should it? So I can just dapple some white into there without it, it's kind of stipple it in. It's just made of lots of holes. I'm reluctant to bring the pen back in, so I'm using it just a pencil to kind of scrub that out. Okay, let's leave it there. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. It does help. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one.